Hi Damini.
Hi Katie.
Thank you so much for talking to me. This talk is majorly to మేము ఒక ఆల్బమ్ బయట పెట్టబోతున్నాం డైరీ.
Yes.
సో దిస్ ఇస్ అవర్ ఫస్ట్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆల్బమ్. దో మేము ముందు ఒక 2-3 సింగిల్స్ బయట పెట్టినా కానీ దిస్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి అవర్ ఫస్ట్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆల్బమ్. వెన్ వాజ్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ యూ హర్డ్ ద వర్డ్ ఇండీ మ్యూజిక్?
So 2017, the very first time I discovered there is such thing called as indie music in our India, and there is independent artist and తెలిసింది through Raghav Miatal. If you have 100 రూపాయలు ఉన్నాయంటే దాంట్లో 30 రూపాయలు ఆడియోకి, 30 రూపాయలు వీడియోకి, 40 రూపాయలు మార్కెటింగ్కి పెట్టాలి. Like 40% has to go to marketing. Yet what we do is లాస్ట్ మిగిలిన 5 రూపాయలని మార్కెటింగ్లో పెడతాం. I am judged every day. I don't care if I'm being judged, if people think I'm rude, if people think, oh, she's mannerless. If I'm talking more about love, sex in my songs, they take
Definitely.
me in a different way. My mom is only fine by it. So I shouldn't have any problem.
Tell me when you were starting a company.
Yes, I was like in a production company for music videos.
హాయ్ ఎవ్రీవన్. సో మీకు అందరూ తెలిసినట్టే 15th డిసెంబర్కి మా ఫస్ట్ ఆల్బమ్ డైరీ బయటికి రాబోతుంది. ఇది మా ఫస్ట్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆల్బమ్. మీరు మమ్మల్ని అందరినీ చాలా షోస్లో, క్లబ్స్లో, ప్రైవేట్ పార్టీస్లో, కాలేజెస్లో, కార్పొరేట్ షోస్లో చూసుంటారు. బట్ మేము బ్యాండ్ మొదలుపెట్టినప్పటి నుంచి ఇండిపెండెంట్ మ్యూజిక్ చేయాలనేది ఎప్పుడు మాకు ఒక డ్రీమ్ లాగా ఉండింది. సో ఫైనలీ వీఆర్ కమింగ్ అప్ విత్ అవర్ ఫస్ట్ ఎవర్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆల్బమ్. సో మాలాగానే మేము కవర్స్ ప్లే చేసి ఎలా అయితే ఇండిపెండెంట్ మ్యూజిక్ సీన్లోకి వచ్చామో అట్లా మ్యూజిక్లోనే ఉన్నా కానీ వేరే ఫ్యాసెట్ ఆఫ్ దాంట్లో ఉండి ఇండిపెండెంట్ మ్యూజిక్లోకి వచ్చిన కొంతమంది ఆర్టిస్ట్ తోటి మేము మాట్లాడి ఐ వాంట్ టు గెట్ దేర్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఆల్సో అబౌట్ ఇండీ మ్యూజిక్. సో ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ ఎపిసోడ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ ఐ హ్యావ్ విత్ మీ Damini. Damini is a playback singer. తను నాకు చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి తెలుసు. ఐ నో హర్ ఫ్రమ్ వెన్ షీ వాజ్ పార్టిసిపేటింగ్ ఇన్ రియాలిటీ షోస్. అప్పటి నుంచి షీ స్టార్ట్ అఫ్ కోర్స్ తన తర్వాత కర్ణాటిక్ మ్యూజిక్లో ట్రైన్ అయ్యి తర్వాత తను ప్లేబ్యాక్ పాడి బాహుబలి సినిమాలో లైక్ యూ ఆల్ నో షీ సంగ్ పచ్చబొట్టేసిన అండ్ షీ సంగ్ సో మెనీ అదర్ ప్లేబ్యాక్ సాంగ్స్ ఆల్సో. బట్ హర్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ in independent music attracts me a lot. So I just want to know her perspective, and through me I want all of you to understand a little more about independent music. So I have Damini with me. Hi Damini.
Hi Katie.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
I love to talk to you. You have very nice perceptions which I like to discuss. Yeah,
thank you, but this is obviously not going to be about
yes,
most of those perceptions.
Yes,
but this talk is majorly to మేము ఒక ఆల్బమ్ బయట పెట్టబోతున్నాం డైరీ.
yes,
సో దిస్ ఇస్ అవర్ ఫస్ట్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆల్బమ్. దో మేము ముందు ఒక 2-3 సింగిల్స్ బయట పెట్టినా కానీ దిస్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి అవర్ ఫస్ట్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆల్బమ్. సో ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు మేము కూడా ముందు కవర్స్ ప్లే చేస్తూ ఇండిపెండెంట్ మ్యూజిక్లోకి ఎప్పుడు రావాలని ఒక గోల్ తోటి వి started doing this, and hopefully so much more to come up. So I also wanted to know perspectives of other artists who have been doing something else, like for example you've been doing playback singing for the longest of time, and antakundu recordings reality shows lo paadam atlantidi. For us coming into indie music is a giant leap, right? So I just wanted to get your perspective on that. So which is why we are doing this. So thank you so much first of all.
Oh, anytime. Yes,
thanks. So I would like to start by asking you, when was the first time you heard the word indie music?
So 2017, the very first time I discovered there is such thing called as indie music in our India, and there is independent artist and తెలిసింది through Raghav Miatal. And then later Shalmali Kholgade, and also she was doing playback. She was singing for Ye Jawani Hai Diwani and all these very big movies and big songs, and yet she was coming up with her own music. That's when I was like, oh, this is lovely, and I think I should also be doing it. సో 2017 ఇట్ ఈస్ యాక్చువల్లీ క్వైట్ లేట్ అనే చెప్పాలి. అంతకుముందు చాలా ఇండిపెండెంట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ వచ్చే స్మిత గారు, అంటే ఇక్కడ మన తెలుగులోనే స్మిత గారు చేశారు, మాల్గుడి శుభ గారు చేశారు, సాలూరు రాజేశ్వరరావు గారు చేశారు. ఇట్ వాజ్ దేర్, బట్ దానికి ఒక మార్కెట్ ఉంది, ఇట్స్ అ సెపరేట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ అండ్ ఇట్స్ అ సెపరేట్ బాల్ గేమ్ అని తెలిసింది ఫ్రమ్ 2017. యా
ఓకే, బట్ ఐ మీన్ because I remember your Thode Badmash cover and all of that also, like I know you from that, and I feel that you've always been that person who's been breaking the ఏమంటారు ఒక కన్వెన్షన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బిగినింగ్. ఎందుకంటే ఆ కవర్స్ వచ్చిన టైంలో కూడా ఐ థింక్ we were still ఇంటర్ అయిపోయి ఆ టైంలో ఉన్నాం. సో బట్ I think I would have seen others doing it, but నాకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు మన సర్కిల్లో అట్లా చేయడం ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్స్ కైండ్ లాగా ఉండింది. When was your first indie release and what was it?
So in COVID, First Things First is my first album.
Oh, was that your I thought you did something before that, a single or something, On My Way or
On My Way was I'll tell you, On My Way was not written by me. And I didn't compose
so you're saying, of course. Okay.
I didn't compose it. It was composed by Kala Bhairava. It was written by my friend called Vishnu Priya. So
but that also comes under independent music, but it was not your songwriting.
It was not my song. I sang it and I was featured in that video. Because we produced it. బట్ ఆన్ మై వేకి ముందు జాజ్ కర్ణాటక అని ఒకటి చేశాను, స్వాగతం కృష్ణ.
Yeah, of course.
అండ్ దాని తర్వాత ఆ కీర్తన్ తర్వాత ఐ డిడ్ లైక్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఒరిజినల్ దేర్, let me sing to you అంటూ we did a nice jazzy కృష్ణుడి మీద jazzy writing we did. So that all I'm not counting because those are not my creations. Like I haven't come up with those melodies.
But when was this though? Like On My Way eppudu?
On My Way was in 16.
Oh, so yeah. So okay. That I feel ఆ టైంకి do you think నీకంటే ముందు ఎవరైనా నువ్వు చేసే కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇండీ మ్యూజిక్ చేశారా? Or do you think you were?
I don't think so.
In Telugu?
Oh, one second. On My Way was in 2017.
Okay. But I feel that pretty much you were one of the first 2-3 people.
I was first 2-3 people.
To do this kind of course, there are a lot of like Rahul Sipliganj and a lot of other artists who have been into independent music.
Yeah.
But they were all, I mean, so YouTube videos laga atla vachina tappiste I don't think anything was First Things First was your indie album.
Exactly. It was my EP. It was in COVID 2019. I remember, hosting a Zoom listening party.
Of course, which I was a part of.
You were a part of. I was like, andarni manchiga Zoom links ichi, meerandaru join avvandi, part vinandi ani. I've got so much support from a lot of people. I really understood who appreciated indie music and who really didn't. Or I understood, okay, so these people really appreciate indie music and you are one of them. You, Anurag, whenever I put out a new song, you guys encourage me.
Rightfully so, because I feel your First Things First was an amazing album.
Thank you.
First place, and
thank you so much.
Every song, I mean, there are just 3 songs, but I almost can sing them lyric to part baadagalna. Anni saal I would have just heard the songs. And I really feel that also inspired me a lot that okay manam kuda deentloki cheyochu ane feeling ochindi. That brings to my next question. How do you feel about the transition of yours from reality shows to playback singing to indie music? How do you like just see the whole transition? How difficult or easy was it?
Definitely playback and reality show is difficult because there's a lot of competition and you need to impress a lot of people. Nothing is in your hands. You can't control the scenario. నువ్వు ట్రాక్ పాడతావు, అది అందరికీ నచ్చాలి, producers and blah blah blah, and you never know how it will come out. మూవీ హిట్ అయితే పాట హిట్ అవుతుంది, మూవీ హిట్ అవ్వలేదంటే మేబీ ద పాట కొంచెం ఇట్ మైట్ డూ okay-ish. But whereas when it comes to independent music, I was in a notion that I just have to have money and creative ideas to put out my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there is no one stopping me.
Yeah.
There is no, I don't need to impress anybody or anything. ఇప్పటి వరకు చేసిన ట్యూన్స్ కూడా this has to be commercially viable అట్లా కూడా నేను ఏం చేయలే. Whatever I thought, I'll put it out. I'll finish it though.
Yeah.
If I start composing something, I have to finish it and put it. There is nothing left in the spam folder.
Yeah.
It's not there.
But that's a really, really good thing, because a lot of people they contemplate a lot about their songs, and they just end up not putting them
they
out.
put it in that folder which is like never
Which never
opened.
comes out, yes.
Comes out. So I'm like, I'll put out. I just need money, and I need the proper resources and my creative brain for that.
Yeah.
So when I put it out, నాకు ఏమనిపిస్తుందంటే ఇట్స్ మోర్ వెల్కమింగ్. అంటే లైక్ పీపుల్ వెల్కమ్ యూ ఇన్ టు దిస్ community very easily. Now I'm co-writing songs for a lot of producers. A producer from Malayalam, I'm co-writing with Hemachandranna. So it feels very welcoming here. You're laying the seeds. Someday it'll adi fruitation kostundi ani oka instinct, oka nammakanto you're doing all these things. Whereas playback and all, yes, they will fetch you name, fame, money, and shelf life perugutundi nee career lo, I mean as a singer ga shelf life perugutundi. But independent music is more heartwarming for me. It brings me comfort at the end of the day. I'm not impressing anybody. I'm not stuck in that shell where I have insecurities, or there is a competition for me.
Correct.
My music is my music.
So the next question is, I also know that you've been performing, like I'm sure you've performed at least a couple of gigs where you only did your indie set, like
Yes.
half an hour, 1 hour sets.
Yes.
Kada?
Yeah.
How was it? How was the feeling? And because there's a niche for indie music, ఆడియన్స్ మనకి వేరే దగ్గర వచ్చే ఆడియన్స్ కి వీళ్ళకి చాలా తక్కువ ఇంటర్సెక్షన్ ఉంటుంది కదా. They are very different. So how did it feel? I've been to one of your gigs, of course, but how do you personally feel? How is your preparation different from that of covers? Are you more nervous or?
No, I'm actually less nervous. So you came, I think, last year listening party ko
Yes.
but please don't consider that. Here I did like 3 indie gigs, only exclusive.
Oh, like exclusive indie gigs. Oh, nice.
3 indie gigs. One was for So Far Hyderabad. So Far Sounds was always on my bucket list. Na first So Far gig, I really was like putting all my heart out into that. Appude correct ga Premalekha release ayindi, which
so
we
you did
both
that,
sang.
of course. Yeah.
So I did the first live version. IMP kokat chesanu, at a smaller cafe. So what I have realized is, when I'm in a cafe with my guitarist and there are about 50 people, I talk, I interact with them, they laugh at my jokes, at my sarcasm, and when they listen to my songs, చేయి జారిపోయినట్టుగా కంగారు చాలుగా అన్నప్పుడు they're all like they're all like, we're all like conversing through songs. People
It's
love,
very intimate.
It's very intimate. I felt like iddi kada, this is my vibe.
Correct.
Because I've been, if I listen to my favorite artists in English, I mean the global world, so a lot of my favorite artists in English music and the global west, they do such gigs, and I always wonder how for every song there is like super ooh ahs and the claps, a lot of cheers and appreciation. అది మొన్న 3 gigs లో నేను చూసేటప్పటికి I was like I was sweeping on the floor. I was like, oh, this is my vibe, this is me. I realized అంటే I've discovered myself.
Nice.
It was very nice. I felt very nice about it.
That's nice. The other thing I wanted to ask you was, when your First Things First had released, you were featured on the Women of India playlist, and I thought it was a big deal at that point of time, because మనకు అసలు తెలుగులో ఇండీ సీనే ఉండి లేనట్టుగా ఉండిన టైంలో, అంటే గిగ్స్లో ఎవరు నోబడి వర్ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దట్. అట్లాంటి టైంలో ఈ విమెన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ప్లేలిస్ట్లో ఫీచర్ అవ్వడం అండ్ యునో ఇట్స్ అ నేషనల్ లెవెల్ ప్లేలిస్ట్ రైట్ ఫర్ స్పాటిఫై ఎడిటెడ్ అండ్ which is a very very good thing. So how do you think what is the scope for women in indie music according to you? Until like because most of the indie artists I like from India are women.
Oh.
Right? And I feel there
who are they? Can you
Anumita,
name? Anumita, okay.
Anumita is one, Abhilasha Sinha is one.
Nice.
And yeah, there's so many more artists who are I think mostly women, because I feel their sensibilities are very different and indie music is all about that, right? Because సినిమా పాటల్లో లాగా నువ్వు అక్కడ ఉన్న సిచ్యువేషన్కి కంపోజ్ చేయడం కాకుండా నీ మనసులో నీకు ఏమనిపిస్తుంది, నువ్వు దేని గురించి చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నావు. సో యూఆర్ మోస్ట్లీ టెలింగ్ యువర్ స్టోరీస్, జస్ట్ ఎగ్జాజరేటింగ్ దెమ్ ఆర్ కొంచెం దాన్ని తక్కువ మెలో డౌన్ చేసి యూఆర్ జస్ట్ టెలింగ్ యువర్ స్టోరీస్, రైట్? సో ఐ ఫీల్ ఫ్రమ్ అ ఫీమేల్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ద స్టోరీస్ వుడ్ బి more heartwarming or more emotional అని నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది. సో హౌ డు యూ ఫీల్ women artists from India especially or Telugu to be more specific can get into indie music, and వాళ్ళకి what do you want to say, as because you were the only Telugu artist who was featured on that.
Thank you. That's a privilege, and thanks for reminding me. I can flex about it now.
Of course you can. You should.
I should flex about it. So what I'd say to all the women or girls out there is, if they are instrumentalists, if they are instrumental players, I would recommend to upskill themselves and come up with nice instrumental tracks. A lot of independent scene here in Telugu emaipindante everything is vocal centered. You're not finding too many musicians also, but if you're a woman who is playing, please play with a lot of indie artists, jam with them and come up with your own originals. That's one I could say. The second one is just keep writing. It's just like you're writing a small essay, electrocution ko, debate ko manam points raskuntam kada school college lo atlane just practice writing, object writing. So every day morning I used to do this కొంచెం కోవిడ్లో కొంచెం ఆ టైంలో, ఇప్పుడు చెయ్యట్లేదు. ఇట్స్ ఎ రిమైండర్, ఐ హ్యావ్ టు డూ దాట్. సో బేసిక్లీ మార్నింగ్ లేచి ఫస్ట్ 15 minutes I take an object, any random object across the room, and then I start writing about it. I have to take 15 minutes and come up with a nice 300-word paragraph or anything. It can include smell, touch, feel, everything, how it looks and all that. So if you keep writing, your writing improves. That is for song writing, like lyrical writing. But if you are a nice Carnatic, manchi sangeetam నేర్చుకున్నావు, you've done your BA or చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి some art form you're learning and you've learned Carnatic, come up with new melodies and then record them. Try to reach out to a friend who is into literature maybe. లేదా చిన్న కవితలు రాసుకుని ఎక్కడొక్కడ మన కమ్యూనిటీలో ఉంటారు ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ అండ్ దెన్ జస్ట్ డోంట్ బీ షై టు పుట్ అవుట్ యువర్ స్టఫ్ అవుట్ దేర్. మహా అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, యూ విల్ నాట్ లైక్ ఇట్. 10 years తర్వాత విల్ బి లైక్, అరే ఏంటి నా ఫస్ట్ రిలీజ్ అయింది ఇట్లుంది అని అనుకుంటా. మహా అయితే
that I think anyway we'll think, because
నిన్న పెట్టిన కవరే నాకు ఈరోజు నచ్చదు.
I know, right? Yeah.
So this is what I'd say to women. Also, don't be afraid of talking about sexuality, about your femininity, like your feminine side of yours. And because I did a song called Deham Daham, like midnight.
I know,
The song was all about love making. I didn't hold myself there. I wanted to do it because it's part and parcel of the life. So I was like, you have to talk about few things. If you're into feminism and all, please write songs about that. Whatever is like your personality, do it.
Correct.
And that's what I'd say. But any other, I don't think I'm that good at giving advices, but these are my advices.
No, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Last couple of things. One, I wanted to ask you about your marketing campaign, because I am heavily inspired by your marketing campaign. I mean, I'm sure people will start feeling that I'm just for the sake of it, I'm saying a lot of things, but I know how many times how many times I would have told you all these things.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very inspired by how good your marketing campaigns are, in the sense that they are not just catering to all sections of people. You are trying to be very, very selective about who you want to cater to, and that's very evident in your campaign, right? Especially when you did that for Sweet Nothings, the first look poster where your face was colored, right? I was amazed to just see that, because I mean, I could never do that. Now maybe after seeing all of that, and I might get a little inspired and I would want to try something differently. But at that point, to even think of doing something like that was very difficult for me, and I'm sure a lot of people like me who might be good at music, but who don't think it's that important to market your work, because if it's good, that's how we are taught, that if you are a good singer, you'll get the name whenever it has to come. But I've started to disagree with them lately, and I started to believe that marketing has marketing doesn't mean that నువ్వు నీ పాటను పాపులర్ చేయడం అని కాదు. You are just reaching to the right people.
Right people, yes.
That's the definition of marketing to me. It's not that ఊళ్ళో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ నా పాట వినేసి అందరికీ నచ్చేలా చేయడం అనేది మార్కెటింగ్ కాదు. That's not publicity for me. So I mean, to be very honest with you, that is exactly why I'm talking to you right now. Because I feel నీ audience, నీ Sweet Nothings విన్నవాళ్ళు, నీ First Things First విన్నవాళ్ళు might also like the music that we are doing, because I feel they are on the similar lines, right?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So what's your take on marketing, and how do you think about it? Maybe you could just give one or two tips to me.
See, frankly, I'm not nailing marketing. ఇంకా చాలా ఉంది మార్కెటింగ్లో చేయాల్సింది. మొన్న చాలా మ్యూజిక్ కాన్ఫరెన్సెస్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు వాళ్ళు అదే అంటారు, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ 100 రూపాయలు ఉన్నాయంటే దాంట్లో 30 రూపాయలు ఆడియోకి, 30 రూపాయలు వీడియోకి, 40 రూపాయలు మార్కెటింగ్కి పెట్టాలి. లైక్ 40% హ్యాస్ టు గో టు మార్కెటింగ్. యట్ వాట్ వీ డూ ఇస్ లాస్ట్ మిగిలిపోయిన 5 రూపాయలని మార్కెటింగ్లో పెడతాం, బట్ అక్కడ అంటే గ్లోబల్ వద్దులే, ఇండియానే తీసుకుందాం. నార్త్లో ముంబైలో అక్కడ దే కమ్ అప్ విత్ దిస్ మ్యూజిక్ వీడియోస్. The amount of money they spend on marketing is on a next level that we can't afford annappudu. What we can do is we can reach out to a lot of like-minded people with good numbers, followers. Ippudu now recently I've known this, like if you are at a number like 100k followers, you reach out to someone at 80k, ask them to do like a collab reel, or ask them to cover your song, so that now your following is 180. It's just 100 plus 80 put together. ఈ 80 వాడు 100కి వస్తాడు, because so it's like it's a give and take method. చాలా అది మనకు మొహమాటాలు ఉంటాయి, అరే ఫ్రీగా అడగలేనురా, నేను ఫ్రీగా ఏం చేయించుకోలేను, మొహమాట పడతాం అడగడానికి కూడా. ఇట్స్ ఓకే, అడిగి చూడు. ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్, జస్ట్ డూ ఇట్, బట్ రీచ్ అవుట్ టు యాజ్ మెనీ పీపుల్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్. ఆల్సో ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ స్కెడ్యూలింగ్ ద రిలీజ్ ఆన్ అ పర్టిక్యులర్ డేట్, దానికి కరెక్ట్గా 14 days is standard. 2 weeks is a standard campaign. చాలామంది డిఎమ్స్ వేస్తారు, రోజు సతాయించకండి అని. రోజు ఎందుకు చెప్తారండి డేట్ గురించి? మీకు ఒక్కరికే కాదు, అందరికీ. చాలామంది మిస్ అవుతారు కదా అప్డేట్స్. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ అప్ విత్ విజువల్ క్యూస్, ఆడియో క్యూస్, people talking about it, people sharing about it, and that shares also should have to be genuine. Correct, of course. Can't be forced. Tarvata, you have to do a lot of networking, and ask people to listen to the track fully. We have these pre-save options now and all that. I think we have to put in a lot of money into it. So I would say, if you are an indie artist, 10,000 ఉంది పాటకి అంటే అసలు కళ్ళు మూసుకొని 5,000 అనుకో, 5,000 పక్కన పెట్టేసే, దాచేసాయి. ఎవరికి అసలు అది కనిపించనివ్వకు. You know, because we when we have 10,000 ఒకేసారి ఖర్చు పెట్టాలని చూస్తాం. But you have to reserve it for marketing. Because at the end of the day, you have to make sure your product is reaching out to the people first of all.
Correct.
To reach out only, you have to spend a lot of money. You will do a ad campaign where you're targeting నీకు కావాల్సిన niche audience, your demographics, whatever it is. Also, ఇండియాలో వింటే నీకు రెవెన్యూ ఒకలా వస్తుంది, యూఎస్లో వింటే నీకు రెవెన్యూ ఒకలా వస్తుంది. సో మై సజెషన్ టు యూ గైజ్ వుడ్ బి లైక్, you've done a lot of US stores on last, so like just push your, put it in that community, US community, so you'll get more CPM, like cost per minute is more there in the US.
Of course.
And there's a lot.
Of course.
There's a lot. Apple Music, still I'm unable to get on to Apple Music breaking Indian independent. ఆ ప్లేలిస్ట్, ఆ ఎడిటోరియల్ ప్లేలిస్ట్లోకి వెళ్ళలేకపోతున్నాను, ఎంత ట్రై చేస్తున్నా. ఎందుకు అంటే మొన్న ఒక రీజన్ తెలిసింది. ద రీజన్ ఇస్ యాపిల్ మ్యూజిక్ ఆల్గో వర్క్స్ గ్రేట్లీ ఇన్ యుఎస్. సో యుఎస్ లిజనర్స్ ఎక్కువ మంది ఉంటే ఐ విల్ గెట్ ఇన్ టు దట్ ప్లేలిస్ట్. సో మన తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా ఉన్నారు. సో రీచ్ అవుట్ టు నూక్ అండ్ కార్నర్.
Nice.
Oh, there's lot we can nail about marketing. I am blown, my mind's blown whenever I listen to a new marketing strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I've also been reading stuff about marketing, of course, only for Diary, because we are very, very possessed about, making sure so many people listen to this album, because we made it with so much love, more than anything else. And it's never happened before that all of us in the band are equally convinced that the album is so good. Because when you're 5 people, one of us would always be slightly skeptical. But this time, everybody is equally happy about the album. All of us are. So we think we at least want everybody to listen and tell us if it's good or bad. I'm sure none of us would mind even if they say it's bad. But we just want people to hear our songs out. Yeah, so that's why I asked you. But thank you so much for that.
And also make sure older generation also listen to your album.
Of course. That's a plan, because, but again I have to educate, like మా తాతయ్య ఉన్నారు ఇంట్లో, మా తాతయ్యకి నేను ఇప్పుడు స్పాటిఫై గురించి చెప్పాలి. I could like convince my father to download Spotify, so I'm
నేనైతే
sure I can do that.
మీకు వేరే యాప్స్ లేవు, మీకు జస్ట్ గూగుల్ అకౌంట్ ఉంది,
YouTube Music also.
యూట్యూబ్ మ్యూజిక్ ఉంది కాబట్టి యూట్యూబ్ మ్యూజిక్ లోనే వినండి. లైక్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు హ్యావ్
of course.
ఎనీథింగ్ దేర్. A lot
we can just go on
about it. About marketing, seriously. But cross promotion is a great way to do it. That's why I think collaborations are now trending now, because your audience now, Premalekha teeskundam, a lot of your audience got to know me through Premalekha,
and vice versa,
exactly. And I got so much love for Premalekha. Thank you.
It's a beautiful song.
But I'm sure my audience will listen to Diary because Diary is beautifully made.
Now that you've heard a couple of songs,
I am
you can
confident
give a
about it. Are you guys planning to perform them in your commercial
Of course. So
sets?
not in the commercial sets, of course, because again, like I said, we want to build a niche for our indie audience again. So now we have 7 indie songs already. So we are just planning to have 2 or 3 more where, so we're planning to probably open for bigger indie artists sometimes, or maybe play half an hour, 1 hour sets in the listening parties or something like that. So we'll do that. But my last question to you before we go to the small rapid fire about just the indie this thing,
turning into interviewer.
Anyway, so so my last question is, because you've been, like I said, breaking conventions and slightly trying to be unconventional, did you ever have the fear of being judged, at least for a minute?
I am judged every day. I don't care if I'm being judged, if people think I'm rude, if people think, oh, she's mannerless, she doesn't even share our work, but we have to share her work. I have my reservations for that. Anyways, if I'm talking more about love, sex in my songs, they take me in a different way. My mom is only fine by it, so I shouldn't have any problem. So
which is good, right?
Which is good.
Which is really good, yeah.
I remember when I made the Midnight Deham Daham song, and there is this animated music video to it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
and in that animated, because I couldn't do it act in a very intimate scenes, what I thought was, let's show it in animation, because I can't do it. I wasn't ready uppatki.
Yeah.
But my mom, the moment my mom saw the video, she just had a smile on her face. Like, it's okay. You can talk about these things. It's very common. So I'm saying, I don't care if I'm being judged.
Okay.
Not at all.
Now it's fine, but when you were doing the photo shoot, maybe for the First Things First, the one with painted face, I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's like it's the same as releasing Midnight or something. It's just unconventional, right?
Unconventional.
But were you skeptical about putting it out, or were you like, it's okay, I'm going to do it?
I'm going to do it. But again, I think, is it too tribal? Is it okay? Was the makeup okay? Am I overdoing it? A thoughts astai. But anyways, I want to do it, I'll do it. Because that in that artwork there is gramophone, there is a disco ball, because Solitude Tales is disco ball.
It's one of the most beautiful photo shoots I've ever seen. No, Jusa? It's one of the...
అంటే సాంగ్స్ కి రిలేటెడ్ గా చేసామన్నమాట అది. Yeah.
There was a gramophone.
Vinyl, yeah. There's a vinyl and gramophone is for Sweet Nothings. The disco ball is for Solitude Tales. And me wearing white with that paint was Fly High.
Fly High. It's a beautiful song though.
So నాకేంటంటే అర్థమైతే అర్థమవుతుంది, లేకపోతే లేదు. It's basically high end fashion.
But అర్థమైనా అర్థమవకపోయినా it has to be aesthetic also. In the first place. Yeah.
It has to be high end fashion. It has to be aesthetic. It has to mean something.
Correct.
So I was like, yeah, we made a concept and we came out with it. So it's fine.
Nice. Very good. Yeah, so let's just do a quick rapid fire. It's mostly going to be about music, indie music and all of that also. I don't want any gossip though. So
that we'll do later.
So who's your favorite indie artist from India and from all over the world? One or two people, yeah.
Okay, all over the world. First is Lave. It is Laufey, but it's pronounced as Lave. She makes amazing jazz.
Where is she from?
She's born in Iceland, but now she's from California.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from India?
From India, Shalmali Kholgade. I like Anuv Jain songs also. I mean, his songs are very like organic.
Yeah.
And very catchy, very introspective, easily consumable at the same time.
Correct.
But konni words chala deep.
The lyrics are very deep.
Very deep. Suraj Santosh is my favorite indie artist from South.
Correct.
And yeah, that's all.
Okay, one indie song that you've heard on loop, like, is if you could just what's on top of your mind?
Okay, that's Chills by Shalmali Kholgade.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that song. It's beautiful. Any upcoming indie artists that you think will make it big? Like, you might be like stalking a couple of indie artists, right? Who do you think?
Kashyap,
of course.
Are homegrown Hyderabadi boy.
How young is he now? Is he 18, 19?
He's 22.
22, okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Your pick from your own indie songs.
Oh.
I know it's tough. Just say one. I'm sure there would have been one song that you were like very, very possessive about.
The one song I'm super possessive about is Premalekha. Yet I decided to share it with you.
It's very kind of you. Anyway, any names of people like this I wanted to ask because I thought it's a very ఎప్పుడు ఎవరు అడగని క్వశ్చన్, బట్ లైక్ నువ్వు ఇండీ పాటలు చేయడం ఆర్ ఇన్ యువర్ లైఫ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ జనరలీ, డూ యూ థింక్ ఎవరికైనా క్రెడిట్ రావాల్సి ఉంది బట్ యూ జస్ట్ డోంట్ టేక్ దేర్ నేమ్ వెరీ ఆఫెన్ అన్నట్టుందా? మైట్ బీ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు నీ మ్యూజిక్ చేయడంలో కానీ లేదా నీ లైఫ్లో కానీ సంబడి హూ యూ ఆల్సో డోంట్ స్పీక్ ఆఫ్ సో మచ్ బట్ హ్యాస్ కాంట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ అ లాట్ టు యువర్ life in general or music also, like whatever?
So Love Wasn't Enough అని మొన్న మార్చ్లో I did this song. That song is so personal to me. It's like it's bang on personal. So that song I was very particular about writing few things. I wrote my part, but I had a Canada producer, Freddie, who helped me with the lyrics and with the production, the whole production. But I didn't get the chance to talk about him. Because that song, అది నేను అంత మార్కెట్ చేసుకోలేదు, and it didn't do numbers wise also that much. But I wish people, listen to that song as much.
Oh, so that was my next question though. Which song of yours do you think
did really not that well is Love Wasn't Enough only.
Okay.
It's my first English song. I put it out with a lot of
love and affection and courage. But when numbers don't do, I'm like, అయితే నేను I have to stick to Telugu. Okay.
అలాగా.
What's your favorite time to create music? Do you like have early mornings or
Evenings.
Evenings.
I mean, late in the evening అని చెప్పను, around 7 to 9. And then you sit on it, you sleep on it, and then next day morning when you hear it back, if it still makes sense, then you just send it to a producer. Fatafat, immediately, no second thoughts.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And last couple of questions about diary. What's like diary, like is about different phases of life, right?
Yeah.
So what is your favorite phase of course you're not married yet, so let's leave marriage aside, but childhood, friendships and college, and first love and looking back at life. Looking back at life is a phase that we go through every once in a while, right?
Yes.
So which phase do you cherish the most?
I think I will always like the looking back thing, because childhood wasn't that perfect, first love wasn't perfect, the marriage,
Love and everything,
love everything. So I always like to look back, learn from my mistakes and learn how things were. It's not that I'm not being grateful of my childhood and my first love and all these things, but I just wish I had even merry, fairy tale-ish childhood. But I think I can relate to the childhood thing and the looking back thing. The first love is like, I think my first love was a time pass, so. So.
I said I don't want any controversies. Cool. Damini undi controversy లేకపోవడం slightly. Anyway.
No closing statement వద్దు, ఇంకొకసారి చేద్దాం please.
No, it's fine. We'll put that. What's wrong in that? No.
So I think I'll relate more to my childhood.
Yeah, and looking back at
and looking back. Childhood was very nice. I think it was me and my sister having fun. My akka used to give me Benadryl and make me sleep. She once, pushed me into అప్పట్లో ఓపెన్ డ్రైనేజ్ కదా రాజమండ్రి అక్కడ.
You're almost saying it like మా అక్క నన్ను ఒక డ్రైనేజ్ లో తోసేసింది,
డ్రైనేజ్ లో పడేసింది. I was a kid and I cut my sister's finger once unknowingly. All those things.
What is so
nice.
beautiful about the three of the memories that you took?
But once we started getting into the reality shows,
you were together.
Things got messed up.
So they got messed up. Okay.
So childhood is before me learning music.
Okay.
You get my point?
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to dwell into it.
Of course, it's fine. I think we have already spoken
a lot.
So long. But anyway, that was about it, Damini. Thank you so much for talking to me. And I am just here on behalf of all of us. But thank you. And I hope you've heard the songs already. But I would love if you could just hear them again when they come out on Spotify.
When is it coming out?
It's coming out on 15th.
Of December.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
lovely.
we are starting the campaign on 3rd because we have a show in Bangalore on 3rd.
Okay.
So yeah, after that we are starting. Like you said, 2 weeks we have.
You want campaigning creative ideas? I will give you so many.
Yeah. Anyway.
Real ideas, content ideas.
Anyway, okay. So thank you so much, Damini, for being
Yeah,
on the show.
thank you so
Thank you.
much. Chichi, it didn't strike properly. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much.